Howdy, y'all. Slinger here. Oh, it's story time again with Slinger. Today, the story is a tad different. Basically, this is a story about basically my confirmation on I had chosen to take a path that was appropriate for me. And it's honestly like, I don't know, it's hard for me to tell it because though it happened a long time ago, it's still a story that greatly impacts my everyday life in physical and spiritual ways. This story is a story about the time I believe I had a real life physical encounter with not the Marvel hoo-ha crap, but the real Thor. So here it goes. Well, housekeeping first. Appropriately, I'm smoking the Viking Pipes Tor 502 Reverse Calabash, packed with Eric Stokeby Night Slice. Delicious. And here it goes. In the year 2014, I was living over on the East Coast, and I lived in a very bad neighborhood. And in a very bad section of that neighborhood, especially for the precise time of day it was. I had worked at a music venue downtown, and I had just wrapped up working a show. It was just a touch before the wee hours, 3 in the morning. You know, it was almost 3 in the morning, and I'd finished up everything, and I didn't have wheels at the time, and I was walking home from work. It's about a 20-minute walk through a bad town and into a worse section of that town. And anyway, I'm about a block and a half away from home. Walking down this main road on the sidewalk, and as I'm approaching this block and a half mark, I am surrounded by probably better than a dozen, I don't know, I'm assuming gang initiates who were getting initiated. I'm assuming they weren't, you know, they were younger kids. They were younger than me at the time. I mean, at the time I was, I don't know, maybe between 26 and 28. And they might have all been between the ages of 18 and 20. One of them comes up from behind me, and big swing and punch to the side of my face. I hear a loud bang, and I feel like I've been hit in the shin by a hammer. And if you can see it, right here is where the 9mm bullet struck me. I dropped to a knee, and all of a sudden there's a barrage of feet coming at my face and my torso and then I'm on the ground continuously being kicked in the face, torso. My arms and legs are getting stomped on. My head is getting stomped on. I don't have most of my teeth anymore from this experience. And as I'm basically laying there unable to move through the barrage of feet striking me over and over again, I basically start thinking to myself, Thor, give me strength. Let me make it home. Help me. And the reason I asked Thor for this help, this is basically because I had, about a year before this, chosen this Norse pagan path. It wasn't long after that I got what I believed to be my response from Thor. Suddenly I started to feel very calm in all that panic, thinking this is the end. They all have earned their colors at my expense. So, felt like an eternity, but it was probably just a few seconds. A massive man appears. I wouldn't say appears, it looked like he came running over. Not appears, don't take it like this was a fully spiritual thing. This was a physical, flesh and blood human that had came. And he was the biggest man I had ever seen in my life. I can go on YouTube, on the internet, and search around. I've never seen a bigger man than this. And he had a big, fiery red beard, long, fiery red hair. And something that stuck out to me, aside from his absolutely brick shithouse ripped stature, was in the street lights, he had eye shine. You know, like you're in the middle of the woods at night and you're shining a flashlight around. If you see a person, they don't have eye shine. You see an animal, that animal has eye shine because of this special way their eyes are built to see in the dark. This man had eye shine, and he basically ripped these little wannabe gangsters off of me and sent them packing. Many of them went away with injuries from his arrival, and the others had fled. And I'm in and out of consciousness at the moment, and this guy goes to pick me up and swing my arm over his shoulder, and it just didn't make sense to him. He was way too tall for that to make sense. I'd have to say he was probably a good 2 feet taller than me. I'd never seen anyone this tall or this jacked. And so he just carried me. And it was really weird. Now, I don't know if it was just that I was in and out of consciousness, or that, it was just the way he was able to move, but it seemed like almost an instant before he had walked me into an emergency room and put me down in the waiting room chair, and without saying a word, turned around and left. And this whole time in my head, the only thing in my head is, thank you, Thor. Thank you so much for saving my life. Thank you for answering me. And I feel like it is because of mighty Thor that I have the honor and privilege of being alive today to be a father, and I truly believe the Norse god Thor answered my call for help. When I know something of the Norse gods that a lot of people don't know, is that they don't really want or need our worship. whether we believe in them or not. They're simply deities that exist. I don't even know if they're deities. They might just be beings, entities, whatever they are. But I truly believe that massive red-bearded man was Thor answering my call. And to this day, I wear my hammer everywhere I go. And the only time it comes off is if I'm going in the water bathing. Because I make all my own hammers. I make them all myself every time. And every time I make a new one, because maybe it gets damaged or I lose it or I give it away to someone, the process is always fully in reverence to the protector of Midgard and all the men and women and children on it. Thank you, Thor. From the bottom of my heart and from the epitome of my being, thank you. I'm here today, and I truly believe it is because of you. Skull, folks. Slinger out.